Hello everyone, welcome to AKS main Shikshana-FREE initiative. This is Santosh Koka. Today the question related to our subject Polity. So question for 18th July 2024. What is judicial activism? Evaluate the impact of judicial activism on policy making in India. So before writing the answer, we need to follow our simple and smart strategy, that is 3 steps before writing the answer. That is first one, question reading. Here we need to identify how many parts are there. Here 2 parts are there, so with different question tags. And also what is the topic here? Judicial activism, very important. We have recently seen many incidents or interventions regarding judicial activism, right? So next, what are the important question tags here? What and evaluate. What means not only definition. Here we need to write something briefly about the topic, right? That is related to what. And also evaluate. What is evaluate? We need to analyze positives and also negatives, and also we need to give some needed measures at the before conclusion, right? That is the meaning of evaluation, right? So all these important most important 15 question tags are separately done in separate video. So if you have not seen, please check it, then only we can write best answers regarding the question tags. Okay, so next, what are the important keywords here? So here impact is the keyword, one important keyword, and also on policy making in India, not entire, right? Here evaluate the impact of judicial activism on policy making in India. That is important here. So we need to identify all these question tags and topic and important keywords also, right? Within 1 minute we need to complete this exercise. Next step, brainstorming. Here we need to recall our important aspects regarding our topic, right? What are the important aspects regarding judicial activism? In the introduction, what should be write here? What should write, right? Here we need to identify, we need to recall within 1 minute entire important acts or important articles or important Supreme Court cases or recommendations, etc., right? All the recent current affairs examples also, right? We have so many Supreme Court cases also, judgments also there, right? We need to include some types of articles, right? Then in the third step, we need to present our answer. We have to present our answer. We can complete it within 6 minutes if we follow about 2 measures. That is our simple and smart technique, right? That is the case. Here we can complete one short answer within 8 minutes if we practice every day by using these 3 steps. Okay, so coming to our approach, here we need to start with decent introduction with including recent current affairs that highlights judicial activism in India. For example, we have so many cases or recent current affairs regarding this judiciary involvement in the particular issues. What is judicial activism here? Right, interpreting some justice regarding the particular citizens' rights and all, right, and also constitutional provisions, right? So here so many important recent current affairs are there. For example, we have MK Ranjit Singh case related to recently judiciary or Supreme Court given some recommendation regarding the rights against climate change or impact of climate change. That is the important case regarding the Indian Bastard case, right? So very important case. Recently we have seen that case related to Article 14 and Article 21 related to it, right? Very important. Other than that, we have also electoral bond scheme, right? It was unconstitutionally invalidated by Supreme Court also, right? Electoral bond scheme. So such examples we need to start with it, right? Recent current affairs, right? Then explanation of judicial activism, including definition and examples. So here, what is the question tag here? What? Judicial activism is the topic, right? So we need to give a definition here. So what is simple definition? It is a philosophy where judges are willing to go beyond the text of the law to consider broader societal implications and justice. That's it. Simple. So in India, we have so many important historical cases also. We can give those examples like our Golaknath versus state of Punjab 1967, and also we have Keshwananda Bharati state of versus state of Kerala, that is 1973, right? All those examples cases we can give. Also we need to establish the judiciary power to interpret and if necessary amend the constitution to uphold its basic structure related cases. These are, we need to just connect the sentences, right? So in the introduction part, we can complete first one within 2 to 3 lines and then explanation part within 2 to 3 lines. That's enough. Next, we need to go for body part. Here, body part, we need to divide our important impact or evaluate related question tag, right? Here we need to inculcate or include or segregate our analyze part, positives and negatives. We need to give positives and negatives. Here first part is positive, right? Protection of fundamental rights. Here first thing is already we have seen in the definition itself, right? Judicial activism has been pivotal in safeguarding these fundamental rights, right? Especially in the landmark cases, already we have seen Vishaka guidelines, right? So Vishaka guidelines also very important, 1997, right? All these examples need to be included in the particular points, right? And also we have Puttaswamy versus Union of India regarding the judiciary role in expanding and protecting individual rights, that is related to right to privacy, right? Puttaswamy case we can include. So addressing legislative gaps, this is also one important positive impact regarding the judiciary or judicial activism. So we can include in the before the decade in 2016, the order of for a ban on the sale of liquor near highways to curb drunken driven incidents is also a important example, right? We can give that. Next, empowerment of marginalized sections, that is very important here. So we have already included fundamental rights of citizens, especially in the weaker section part, right? Here we can include the NALSA versus Union of India case 2014 judgment recognized transgender people as the third gender. Very important, that their rights and dignity provides their rights and dignity. Very important example we need to include. We can include recent examples also. Next, positive judicial interventions. Here Supreme Court's decision in the Olga Tellis versus Bombay Municipal Corporation case, that is 1985 case, which recognized the right to livelihood as part of right to life showcases judicial activism, especially in the on policy making. Don't divert your answer from this keyword. So many are written answers regarding the judicial activism only, but some positives and negatives are different from each and every aspect, right? Regarding policy making in India only, we need to include all our points. That is the important keyword here. Next, we need to focus on our negative part here, negative impacts. What are the important negative impacts here? Judicial overreach is the first important. Sometimes these judicial activism changing or balancing into judicial activism, right? There's need to be a judicial balance between these important things, right? So here judicial overreach, we can give some certain Supreme Court's ruling on the National Judicial we have National Judicial Appointment Commission, right? Act that was strike down in 2015 itself, right? Was seen by some as encroaching on legislative authority. So it has given by legislature, but it has struck down by judiciary. That is the case here. So there are instances where judicial activism has been criticized as overreach. That is very important. Next, capacity and expertise is one important negative impact. So judges may lack the expertise to make policy decisions that require technical knowledge. For example, Supreme Court's order to ban diesel vehicles over 10 years old in 2015. Delhi, right? Delhi case faced criticism for not considering broader implications on the transport sector also. Something economical and also some societal. There will be difference between following these policies or implementing these policies, right? That is the criticism or debatable topic here. Next, policy stability. So we have judicial interventions can lead to policy instability here. Supreme Court shifting stance on the Board of Control of Cricket in India, that is BCCI, reforms has caused confusion and lack of continuity in the administration of cricket. That is also very important. Recent general example we can include here. Next, controversial interventions we have. So judiciary's decision to legalize passive euthanasia. We have already seen in the Aruna Shahbag case, right? In 2011, that is very, very important here. Without a comprehensive legislative framework, remains continuous or contentious and highlights the potential issues of unilateral judicial decisions here, right? Controversial interventions are also there in the negative impact of judicial activism, right? Next, we need to include whatever we have challenges, we need to give some positive or needed measures, right? Here, balancing activism and restraint is the very, very important needed measure. There is need to be judicious balance between activism and restraint to ensure the judicial interventions do not undermine other branches of government. We have judiciary, we have legislature, we have executive. So here, judicial interventions do not undermine other branches, whether legislation or executive. That is the important. We need balance, right? Next, capacity building. So investing in the judiciary capacity to handle complex policy issues through training and hiring of experts can help mitigate the negative impacts of judicial activism here. So that is very, very important. Other than that, already we have seen in the first point itself, coordination between branches also very, very important, right? This is related to in between our different organs of our government, but here branches means coordination. Better coordination mechanisms between judiciary, legislature and executive can ensure smooth policy implementation and avoid conflicts here. That is the case here. Next, framework for judicial accountability. We need to establish a framework for judicial accountability will ensure that judges exercise their powers responsibly and within constitutional limit. That is the important point here. Judicial accountability. We need to include these type of keywords: activism or judicial review or judicial accountability. All these important keywords, questions may come from these sections. Okay. Next, we need to conclude with a 1 to 1.5 line here, right? That should be a futuristic note, right? Futuristic note only here. So judiciary continues to serve. If we follow above measures like moving forward a balanced approach, capacity building or improved coordination between all these we have, right, needed measures already written in the above part. If we follow above measures, government will be essential in harnessing the positive aspects of judicial activism while mitigating its negative aspects. Right here, this will ensure that the judiciary continues to serve as a robust pillar of democracy, safeguarding justice and equality for all. That is important here. So in the polity part, we can include our constitutional provisions or values here, right? Next, we can include some certain goals or egalitarian society or equality or equity for all, or social justice and all, right? We can include that for that, connect for that. So next, so let's check today's answer. So written by Vidyasagar. Recently, Supreme Court issued guidelines constituted Committee for Conservation of Great Indian Bustard gives rise the question of judicial activism. Very, very important recent case already discussed, right? Very, very good CA connected introduction. The term JA was coined by Arthur Salsinger, USA. It means judicial intervention in lawmaking by comes out separation of powers. Simply as written some introduction part regarding definition. In India, the conflict was introduced. Concept was introduced by P.N. Bhagavati and Justice Iyer. Very good static details. Next, judicial activism and policy making in India, sometimes leading for reaching social changes by invoking own natural principles or social engineering expertise. Example, polluter pays principle we have, right? Bettering the conditions of jail inmates, and also abolition of bonded labors. All these recent examples, and also it was performed on judicial powers, review powers also. Very good. It was considered as gray area where judiciary steps in when legislature or executive reluctant to perform constitutional provisions. Example, Vishaka, guidelines for sexual harassment of workplace. Right? Very good examples. Next, judiciary make laws during legislature, hunger executive incompetence. Right? For example, recent electoral reforms are void the executive actions here. Right, that is the case here. Next, we have powers to unelected judiciary. All these are negative points here. These are he has given in a flowchart, so not mentioned in the constitution. Especially judicial activism was not mentioned. Right, breach of separation of power sometimes leads to judicial activism. Right, sometimes leads to not judicial activism. This is judicial overreach. That should be right here. So lack of technical expertise and solutions. Example, scientific of resources, financial matters. Example, powers of unelected judiciary or burden of cases also. Right. So pending of cases also one important thing here, but not related to our policies. Right. Impact on government policies here. Next, way forward, uphold constitutional supremacy by protecting fundamental rights and government institutions, or perform functions within the boundaries. Legislature and executive should step in to make proper legislations protective. Judiciary must recommend the actions to be taken issues to direct concerned departments, enhance the infrastructure and manpowers to judiciary. Very good examples are very good way forward suggestions written here. So here we need to some balance between organs, and also we need to coordination between, and also we need to given some judicial accountability we need to show, right? Finally, need here fine application of separation of powers, judicial restraint, and better balance of powers between three organs of government to uphold constitutional supremacy. Very good. So finally, from this answer, so many examples are included. So other than that, we can include some important articles here. We can include article 14 and 21 regarding the rights against impact of climate change. That is the case here. Very important case. Recently, Supreme Court recommended to the government, right? So already we have, so other than that, we have right to privacy case, right, regarding our digital data protection bill, right? So all these are should be mentioned in the answer. So finally, from this answer, each and every point was included. So other than that, everything is fine. So here we can give, so out of 10 marks, 5.5 out of 10 marks. Very good. So judicial restraint and better balance of powers between three organs. That is the conclusion part here. Other than that, policy making in India, first part is very good. So introduction part. So positives has written with beautiful examples, and also next Vishaka guidelines, and also mentioned like negatives, also including a flowchart, right? Very good. So this is enough to complete a short answer. Very good. So coming to our tomorrow's main section question for 19th July 2024, that is day 21. Discuss the strategic significance of the AUKUS Security Pact for the Indo-Pacific region. What role should India play in response to this development? That is very important. Recently we have seen in the AUKUS expansion also, very important. This question should come or must come in the upcoming examination. That is related to international relations. Very, very important. Write your answers. Upload your answers in the assignment section of AKS. The link given in the video description. Please check. Thank you very much. All the very best.